Alright, this video is about the supposed assumption that social justice is contrary to the notion that all Americans are supposed to have equal rights. This to me represents a very faulty understanding of American history. Our founding fathers only allowed for wealthy white landowners to be a part of this country's founding. So the whole principle that all men, again, men are included here, women and children are left out of the picture, are created equal and are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to ensure those rights, governments are instituted amongst men. These words seem really, really pretty, and they seem like they are fair and just, but the misunderstanding is the notion that these words are actually meant to represent that all Americans actually do have equal rights. The history of the United States is wrought with strife and conflict, and just like any other country, we've done a great deal to dishonor the founding principles of our nation based on the simple fact that, yes, part of our history is that this nation would not even exist if it weren't for the fact that there were several different people involved in what was known as the transatlantic slave trade, and that slaves who often included those who were of a darker skin color, those who were African, West Indian, or Native American, were brought over here. Some were brought over here, others were already here, and they were pretty much treated as workhorses by the original founders of this country. The whole notion that America was always based on equality is this fancy fairy tale that we've become to believe that it's just never been accurate. I mean, there is a reason why the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act needed to be signed. There is a reason why able accounts exist. There is a reason for these things, because certain people were not granted a seat at the table. Certain people were not granted a voice, and that is the historical fact. The historical fact that segregation still existed, in 1959. That's only 58 years ago. So this notion that America has just come so far in such a short time is hogwash. America has not yet lived up to its promise. There was no golden age in this country. The time in history that many of my Caucasian right-wing friends right now are looking to as if it is the most prosperous, greatest time in history for people like me, for people like just the Reverend Dr. King, for him and his family, that time was not a time of this great, wonderful, unfettered prosperity for every American to celebrate. There was a lot of prosperity that people of color, that women, that people who were not part of the larger white color or the white class, WASPs as they called them, did not enjoy. And trying to repaint and redo history, remake American history as though there was ever a perfect time, is to lie about the fact that our nation was never perfect. We're never going to see perfection on this side of heaven, on this side of I don't understand. Jesus himself cared about the rights of the marginalized. He cared about the rights of the oppressed. He came to set the captives free. He did not come so that we could take people and send them back into their prisons. And I'm getting really tired of this notion that unless you act like there was this perfect time in American history and that you want to make America great again, as if America was ever great to some of us. Some of us actually have had this government take the most precious things in our lives away from us And we're not fans of this whole mentality that unless we agree with everything that our government does, then we're not real Americans. To be an American is supposed to be to have the freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of, you can't say, oh, we're all free, and then declare that you want a theocratic state. Because I'm sorry, I hate saying this as a Christian, but I've got friends who are atheists, and I don't want them to suddenly feel like they're being pushed back even further into society merely because they don't believe in God. They have a right not to believe in God. I don't agree with the fact that they don't believe in God. I mean, I do believe in God. I believe in God very strongly. But I'm not going to go around forcing my religion on people either, because that's not what it means to be free.